Simon and Elizabeth Ellis have 4 children, 17-year-old twins Amelia and Samuel, 11-year-old Oscar and 8-year-old Florence. 6 years ago, the family were living in Hale, Cheshire. Simon was working all hours at the office, travelling to London and Manchester on business, while his wife, Elizabeth, was juggling a full-time office job in human resources with raising the 3 older children.
With Simon working away more and more, we were chips passing almost, really. Our life was chaotic. It was utterly chaotic, and we both were of opinion that life is just too short to be on the treadmill all the time.
The couple never saw each other, and they struggled to find a happy work-life balance. Like most families, they carried on juggling for several years, gradually realising that if they wanted to find happiness, then something would have to give. Simon suggested moving out of the city for the countryside to try to reclaim their family life, and they settled on Cumbria. But it didn't work out as planned. Although Elizabeth was able to give up work and have their 4th child, Florence, Simon carried on with his job full-time and was often away on business. Elizabeth felt isolated.
Simon working away, it really became apparent it wasn't what we had hoped it would be.
Despite their disappointment with Cumbria, the Ellises were convinced that country living could work for them. They decided not to give up on this dream, but instead to look further afield, even though this would mean Simon would have to give up his job. They settled on their favourite holiday destination, France. Simon loves to climb mountains, and the family are keen skiers, so being close to the Pyrenees felt like a perfect place to make a new life. Now that Elizabeth and Simon were sure it was the right thing to do, they had to convince the kids.
I guess I didn't know what to believe it to start off with. I thought, I knew it wasn't a joke, but I didn't realise until I arrived here what difference it had made and how it was going to change my life.
With the family on board, there was nothing left to do but take the plunge, and it was a big one. Simon gave up his paid work, and they put all their money into buying a 400-year-old watermill in the little hamlet of Mengay, an hour's drive from Toulouse. It was a big gamble. For the Ellises, it wasn't a case of buy somewhere and move in. They wanted a property with a barn which they could develop into a holiday business. And as they had put all their cash into the property, now to save money, their first task was to rebuild it themselves.
The barn was 2 walls and a roof, and the roof needed to come off. And we didn't want to incur any extra cost. We'd dig the foundations out ourselves. So we, by hand, excavated 20 tons of bedrock.
It took a long time, and yes, it was a bit tedious having to go outside and help them, but so moving rocks and stones and help building stairs and balls, and I mean, okay, so it wasn't me because I don't like getting dirty, but mostly Samuel. I just suddenly run away, I'm not here.
We met a builder who's English, and he gave us lots and lots of very useful pointers. Well, builders are clever like that, they know all the tricks, don't they? We knew nothing. So we were obedient students and paid attention and didn't mess around in class, and he showed us what to do. And basically patted us on the back when we needed patting on the back and ticked us off when we needed ticking off.
Well, Sam helped on the roof because he's quite light and nimble and athletic, so he was really good on the roof.
But mostly I did everything. Got my hands dirty, putting up the walls, cement, all sorts of gooey...
Dirty jobs.
Dirty things.
The stuff I'd hate to do.
It was excitingly bonkers. Loved it. Thought, great, what are we going to do tomorrow? Oh, God, that'd be wrong, we've got to destroy it. You know, or something like that, you know. We did make mistakes.
It took the Ellis family 3.5 years to rebuild the barn into this holiday villa. Last year they started to let it out, and they earned €13,000 from renting it to holidaymakers. Simon added a few thousand to the total with some website consultancy. That's a tiny amount considering they used to take home £100,000 a year back in the UK. For them, the gamble has paid off, and they've exchanged the luxury of money for the luxury of time.
I get to see my children every day, and I get to be with Elizabeth 24/7. Thanks, that'll do. I got married to my wife to be with my wife. I didn't get married to my wife to miss her for 5 days a week. If the opportunity arises to be able to live your life with your family, you take it.
Running their own holiday business in rural France is a world away from bustling Cheshire and the Ellis' old life. We're bringing the whole family back to Hale for the first time in 6 years to see how they feel about it now.
It's raining, unfortunately. But,
Despite the weather, there's a lot more going on here than in the Ellis' little hamlet of 8 houses. But taking a walk down their old road hasn't made them homesick for England.
Too many cars.
Too many cars. Don't remember it being this busy.
I know why it was good to live here, but I'm glad to have moved on. I'm not a suburban boy.
Completely reinforced that we've made the right move.
Leaving England for France meant the children had to adapt not only to starting a new school, but learning a new language. And Elizabeth and Simon were worried how they'd cope.
Moving 4 children to a different country where they don't speak the language and to be integrated into the French education system straight away, my word, they did it. They just swam, they just did brilliantly.
It came quickly. At the beginning, you understand much more than you can say.
What frustrated me was when they started trying to speak to you in English. No, I'm in France to speak French. Oh, but I want to speak English. No, don't speak English, just speak French and I'll pick it up.
We speak French sometimes at the house.
Yep, if you don't want the parents to understand, then it's all French.
Unlike the twins who came to France in their early teens, Oscar and Florence were very young when they first arrived. Oscar was 6 and Florence was only 2. But they both still feel a connection to England.
Because I only speak French at school, like when I'm with my family, and when there's English visitors, I speak English. Well, I feel both because I live in France and I used to live in England.
The only thing Simon really misses now he lives in France is a proper pint of English beer. Sipping a pint in Hale brought back all sorts of memories. But now they're home in France, the Ellises are staying put. Everyone apart from Amelia, that is.
It's been great, but eventually I would like to move away and go to the city somewhere. Not forever, but for my young days, I must say.
Personally, I will stay in France, I think. The country is lovely, people are nice, and I'll get myself a little house in the countryside. It'd be nice.
What I don't like about England is the weather. Keep on raining.
I think that if we'd made the move from Hale here, oh wow.
Seize the day, but only if you really, really want to.
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
That's a big old brave move, that one though, isn't it? I wouldn't be very good if I was doing the bar up. We'd still be there 12 years later.
No, absolutely. I say, where's the bloke? Come on in and get that sorted out. Now, that is amazing. Would your kids help hump 20 billion tons of
Not
bedrock?
a chance.
No,
Be like,
I know.
whatever.